Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and this is To Back or Not to Back. Granted, it's a little late, but also I haven't done one of these in like a month, so better late than never. And this week I will be just going over the next 8 days worth of campaigns, because right now I'm just trying to get ahead of it before hopefully getting back on track for this series. I say hopefully, we shall see. We shall see what happens. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive into today. At the very least, we do have today's campaigns to go through. We have like 10 or so campaigns. Not a ton, but there are some, all in the last like 3 to 4 days on these campaigns, so if you're watching this video day 1, 2, or 3, great. If you're watching this next week, well, that's what late pledges are for. With that, let's go ahead and dive into the campaign, starting off as we usually do with the Cult of the Now. Crowdfunding is full of great games, but Cult of the Now is a reminder you can get great games available now. I don't remember if I've done ARCs before, but at $48, it seems like a pretty decent price for a game that got a ton of buzz and hype all for it last year. Check out ARCs, $48 over on Game Nerds. It's a game you can check out a ton of ratings, reviews, gameplays. You can see all the stuff about this game and decide if it's for you, all at a reasonable price point before wading into the potentially hot mess that is crowdfunding, that is full of amazing potential stuff, but the key word there is often potential. Let's go ahead and dive though into those campaigns, starting off with Robo Rescue. We'll be going through these in order of how soon they're ending, but most of them are ending in the next 3 days. We have Robo Rescue. 1,600 backers, $133,000 raised. Robo Rescue is a semi-programming game of playing out cars to try to move around the board, collecting various things. There's a whole bunch of stuff you're trying to do, but ultimately you're trying to get rockets for your spaceship to be able to launch off and escape. There's a bunch of ways you can collect those rockets. You have to choose which pathways and then try to get those specific components, whether it's energy, whether it's little line pieces in order to create little pathways. There's all kinds of things you're trying to do as far as the resources you're trying to collect. The problem is, as you walk around the board, you are slowly depleting the resources on the board, which means it starts off being very open-ended and then very quickly turns into a game where it's all about trying to get the remaining things that you desperately need to finish that last rocket in a slowly depleting board. Oh, also you get to push things and jump over things and fly things and cross the board from one side to the other. There's a whole bunch of cool, fun things you can do in this game. The base pledge is $56 for, well, the base pledge, and then we have the $75 giving you the Origins prequel along with it, and then from there we have $84 giving you Mischievous Machines along there. So you have, those are the basic pledge levels. Then there's the Ultimate Rescue, which gives you all the things, the Origins logbook, print and play files, all the extra stuff. And they have them down over here on the sidebar. You can click through to see the specific pledge levels and see which one you're looking for. Do you just need the base game? Do you need the expansions? All those extra things. Shipping is going to run you, where's the shipping? Shipping, I think it was 19, was it? If I recall, yes, $19 over here with shipping for the campaign. But that's basically Robo Rescue. It's a programming game. Play cards, collect things, launch your rocket ship, and try to escape the planet. From there we have Dogs of War from Play to Z in association with Shut Up and Sit Down. Shut Up and Sit Down, if you didn't know, they have a partnership with Play to Z Games with their specific games that they are curating and saying, hey, these are awesome games we think you should be able to get. And Dogs of War, I think, is their second collaboration, but the first one going to crowdfunding, if I recall correctly. $132,000 raised, 2,049 backers. Dogs of War was originally put out by Simon a long time ago, designed by Paul Amari. It's one of those games that definitely falls into the hidden gem category. It's a lot of people love it, but it was never widely available. It's a game that was at one point in my top 100. Eventually, there were small aspects to it that led to me eventually getting rid of it, which honestly, this campaign kind of makes me want to get it back, not just because of Cult of the New, or Cult of the Now, Cult of whatever, Cult of the Future. Not just because of Cult of the Future, although that's definitely present, but also because they are making changes that make me wonder whether this might tweak it to where I want it to be. The problem with Dogs of War for me was it was a great game most of the time, and then sometimes you'd have inconsistent plays that didn't work out as well, and this game is seeking to adjust a few things from faction balance. They are adding more faction powers. I didn't even tell you what the game is like. The game is basically, let's come back to what they're doing new in a second. The game is basically a game of mercenaries. You aren't one particular faction. You are investing into the particular factions all along these tracks, choosing to back certain armies, back certain factions through your mercenary forces. So it's not about necessarily winning a faction, it's about winning you. You're the one who's trying to win by manipulating all the various factions at play and utilizing your mercenaries to do so. So you have all these interesting situations, including facing off against yourself, which can happen, although there's a lot of things to it. But that said, the basic idea of the game is those mercenaries. It's trying to use your faction abilities. It's trying to invest in the right spots on the board. There's a degree of worker placement. There's a degree of committing. There's a degree of being mindful of the other players at the table as to where they're putting their energy, because facing off against too many players can have you losing, because everyone else is a mercenary leader, and if all of them are ganging up against you, you're probably not going to win. So it's almost like a stock-taking game to a degree. You're kind of trying to see where the market is going, except the market is like, you know, houses and soldiers dying on the battlefield. Thematically, it's very abstracted. It's very abstracted in the game. That's the general idea of Dogs of War. This new edition of the game has several changes. First of all, they are, I think, doubling the player powers while also trying to balance them. That was an issue in the original game. They're also trying to, they're also changing up the components as well. They're changing up the artwork, the graphic design, all of that. They're also tweaking the, I believe it was the 3 to 4 player experience. They're trying to balance that a little better because, again, that could lead to inconsistent plays. And they are shortening the game from 4 rounds down to 3. All of these changes might put it exactly back where it was for me, which, to be fair, was a great game that sometimes I didn't enjoy, depending on the play I had, or it may streamline it to an extent that makes it a better game and a more consistent one. So, as a fan of Dogs of War, as a game that was my top 100 at one point, this is one that definitely has me intrigued by it. The pledge levels over here are going to be $75. Well, let's go to the basic pledge. The basic pledge is $50 for the base game, plain and simple. It will be available at retail, but you can get it now, $50, all that. There's an upgrade pack for the original Dogs of War, which is nice. That way you don't have to go all in. This is something like they totally didn't have to do this. This wasn't like their game. It's not their company. It's a whole different thing. I was kind of impressed to see that over here as far as an upgrade pack. And then this one over here for $75, an additional $25, you're getting the base game. That's the $50. You're getting the campaign exclusive alternate art player screens. That's nice to have, but like it's alternate art player screens. We have the deluxe metal coins. That's great, but it's not worth $25. But they're also giving you a $15 Play to Z gift card. And no, you don't have to use it just at their site. If you do go to conventions, you can also use it at one of their conventions. So you don't have to, like, you know, deal with shipping and picking stuff out. You could just use it the next time you're at a convention and want a Play to Z game. So that's decent because that takes your $25 bump up and drops it down to $10 with the fact that you have to buy something from them. And you also get those alternate art player screens. So it seems worth it if you think you'll want something from Play to Z in the future, and you also get the metal coins. I mean, honestly, pledges are split, like about 50-50 between those two pledges. That's the basic idea. That's the campaign. Then we have shipping over here. Shipping's going to run you $17 for the game as well, so that's going to be on top of everything. Factor that in to worth it, not worth it. Again, the base game's going to be available at retail, so you're paying $67 for it, down from a $65 MSRP. As with all the campaigns we covered today, remember that an MSRP is not the actual price you pay in the store, so that means you probably are overpaying if you just want the base game alone. You are guaranteeing it sooner. Well, not guaranteeing it sooner. You're potentially getting sooner. Do they have a buyback now? Why back now? Let's see. The buyback now. Exclusive art, $15 Play to Z. Yeah, they're not guaranteeing you get it sooner. So they're not guaranteeing you that at all. You're just getting the game now. Well, not now. You're guaranteeing that you get the game. Even that's not a guarantee nowadays. You're probably guaranteeing that you get the game. You might get it sooner. You are getting some extras. Again, price points. And we're not really doing the full like value thing on all these campaigns, but just keep in mind, a base pledge where you get a little bit off and the MSRP is there and you save $10, but you pay $20 in shipping, that's rarely saving you money. Factor that in as we go through all these campaigns. Making Monsters, 805 backers, $82,000 raised, 3 days to go. Making Monsters is basically Quacks of Quedlinburg, except instead of potions, you're making monsters. That's what it is. It's a bag builder. It's a bag builder where you pull things in the bag, you try not to bust, and then you try to make monsters, utilizing the various things you pull from the bag towards those monsters in the game. That's the base game over here. The deluxe version of the game is going to be an all-in. Let's go to the pledge levels. Where are the pledge levels? Pledge levels. So we have the base game. No, that's the deluxe bundle. This says, by the way, most popular pledge level, and I was looking at this, I was like, you want it to be the most popular, but no, it's the most popular. Like double the amount of backers in this pledge level compared to anything else. This gives you the deluxe edition plus Neophene player mats, which could be an optional buy instead. The Mad Scientist Deluxe Edition gives you the deluxe upgrade kit, which gives you chunky wooden monster power tokens, basically those things you're pulling from the bag. They're chunky, they're wooden, they're cooler if you want those. 12 giant wooden order tokens, the game box secret art, and the Kickstarter of Brett Bean box art. So primarily, in my opinion, if you get this pledge, you're primarily paying for deluxified tokens for the game. Because the base game over here is $49, again, on an MSRP of $59.99, which goes back to all the things I said there, because you're going to be paying for shipping. You're basically paying more for the base game, which means for this, I would assume that you should not get this if you are just wanting the base game, unless, again, you want to get closer to guarantee, because you never know what retail availability will be like. I think Play to Z retail availability is more likely. They already have those connections and partnerships set up, so that one's more likely. This one could well happen. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So you can go, if you want to guarantee it, again, guarantee not being the operative word, then the base pledge over here, and otherwise the Mad Scientist Deluxe Edition if you want those upgraded components, and then of course the $119 if you want those $20 Neophene player mats, which you're not really getting like a deal on. You're just getting a pledge level that includes them, which is not bad. I mean, if you want them, you want them. Shipping for the campaign is going to run you $19, again in the US for the base game, $21 for the deluxe, so factor all that in, but that is Making Monsters. Then we have Terrorscape 2. Terrorscape 2, 3,181 backers, $936,000 raised, 2 days left to go. This is Terrorscape, but with a 2 at the end of it. This is the second Terrorscape. So Terrorscape, let's start with what Terrorscape is, and let's talk about what the 2 adds to it. Terrorscape is basically a one versus many game in which one player plays as the killer, and the many, which could also be one by the way, the many play as the various investigators who are being hunted by the killer. They're being hunted. They're in a mansion, they're in somewhere, they're in various places, honestly, depends on the board you're playing as, and they're being hunted by one of several killers. You're playing as a bunch of investigators, you're trying to gather your tools. This is a hidden movement game where you're trying to figure out where everyone is as you try to wander around the map and attempting to hide and or kill depending on the side that you're on. You're basically trying to escape. There's several ways to do so. Well, again, depending on which side you're on. But if you are the many, that you are basically trying to escape or in some way get out. There's a few different ways you can win the game, including a final showdown in 2 over here. But with that said, that's the basic idea. It's a hidden movement game. Hidden movement game with both sides and this giant little mansion on the screen that makes it all very cool and thematic and gives you that table presence, while also being a good game at the same time. Generally, if you look at Terrorscape, the ratings, the reviews, all that have been pretty solid on it. What's new in the game? Well, we have a few things. The first thing is Terrorscape 2, that 2 at the end, gives you a redesigned iconic screen to set up faster and pack away easier. So basically it gives you, it's easier to set up, supposedly. I haven't tried it over here, but supposedly it's easier to set up. The original was nice, but it definitely added a few minutes to every game, and by a few minutes I mean probably like 5 to 10 minutes to every game just to get it set up. Probably more if you haven't pulled it out in a while, have to remember how to do it. So this one in theory is easier, and also it's designed to give you sleeves that you can kind of put over it for maximum immersion. One of the problems with the original is it was such a cool piece, it was such a cool set piece, but then when you're playing in like the Arctic tundra versus a mansion, it was always a mansion. It was always a mansion, and that definitely ruined a small degree of immersion to it. This gives you more immersiveness because you can have it. It's not necessary. This is purely fluff, but it's nice fluff. Like if you're paying this much for a game, that fluff is definitely nice to have. It also adds levels. By levels I mean like layers. It adds layers. It adds basically a new map mechanic where it includes new elevations and new search locations. So there's a concept of elevation within the game. There's a new way to escape by having the survivors repairing the vehicle, and then there's the final showdown when all hope seems lost. Fight back. And so those are basically the new main mechanics you have in the game, giving you Terrorscape, but with changes to it. Pledge levels are $85 for Terrorscape 2. We have gameplay for $169, giving you the 3 expansions. The Deluxe All-In for $299, giving you a whole ton of stuff. Again, you can click through here, see the Foil Ultimate Killer card, the Screen Sliding Insanity Cure. These are all the overlays over there to make it more thematic. But, you know, again, you are paying for that. Deluxe Miniatures, Deluxe Blocks, expansions, all those things. You don't need all that stuff. You could just get the gameplay bundle and just get the game and then the 3 expansions. Granted, you will be missing on some of the deluxe stuff, but you will be paying like half as much for the campaign. And then Sundrop Deluxe All-In for $344 if you want all those miniatures, Sundrop, and everything. So again, lots of money you could spend on this. Just kind of depends on how high you want to go. And the most popular pledge this time around looks like the Deluxe All-In, not the Sundrop one. The Deluxe All-In is the most popular pledge overall with 1,000 of those 3,000 backers. That's Terrorscape. Shipping over here, shipping's going to run you, depending on what you get, anywhere between $21 to $51 for the Deluxe All-In, so factor that into your gameplay pricing, and that is Terrorscape 2, I should say. That's not Terrorscape. That's Terrorscape 2, ending in 2 days. Oh no, this should have been first. When I ordered these were all like 3 days left, but the problem is sometimes 3 days becomes 2, so technically Terrorscape's ending sooner than the others. Geekmon Capture, 471 backers, 3 days to go, $25,000 raised. Geekmon Capture is a dynamic game of dexterity packed with awesome geek references. I mean, this is basically Pokemon-ish. It's a dexterity game. You're going to be bouncing your cubes around the board in order to capture various things. You can check out a gameplay on the channel. It's surprisingly fun, but it's very much like a dexterity game with a small degree of element matching and a small degree of extra levels, although there are other things to it. There's expansion content, which I have not played, so I can't comment on that. And then there's also like arenas. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff, but the core idea is you bounce cubes across the table, attempting to capture all the things that you need to capture. That's the core idea of Geekmon Capture. They already had a successful campaign, a Brazilian campaign, I believe, and this time around there's content for those who are coming back to it, as well as new content. There are pledge levels on the side, but honestly it's so filled with a bunch of extra stuff that I think it's easier to look at the pledge levels over here. So pledge levels, we have $30 for the Geekmon Trainer. This gives you the game. Honestly, if you're just looking for the simple, pure fun of a dexterity Pokemon game, this will do it for you. But then from there, if you want to go all in different capacities, there's $59 for the Geekmon Master, giving you the various expansions all in one fun box. There's the Geekmon Champion, giving you all these extras as well, and then become a Star Trainer for $200. This is going to put you as a trainer in the box, so in the Star Trainers expansion, you'll become your own character. So if you want to be someone in Geekmon, well, you can do so with that pledge level. Shipping is going to run you $14 to $18 depending on the tier. ultimately, again, this is a dexterity fun. Like, if you like Pokemon, if you like dexterity games, this is more fun than I thought it would be. I don't know if it's the kind of game I need to go all in on, like how much do I care about any individual character or card, depending on the nature of the game. For me, this is more about the dexterity aspect. I think going all in is a lot, but again, if you do want the nice box and the extras and all that, it's certainly there for you. We have Lone Wolf, Vengeance of the Kai, 917 backers, 3 days left to go, $116,000 raised. Lone Wolf, Vengeance of the Kai is based on the world of Lone Wolf, which is a series of books. It's a series of books, an adventure saga read by millions, and this time it's a 2-player asymmetric game inspired by games like War of the Ring and Star Wars Rebellion. Basically, one player takes control of, Lone Wolf and his team, the other player takes control of the Dark Lords. You start off with a pre-populated map with a whole bunch of things going on, and then you need to take actions utilizing your characters, your leaders basically, and you're using your leaders to basically move around the board, to start invasions, to play various cards from your hand. You're trying to do this across 6 rounds, although there are instant win conditions that can end it earlier, or you can just get to the end of 6 rounds and then score up based on how based on how well you did. And then along the way, you're doing a whole bunch of things, from dueling various players to engaging in combat to playing a ton of cool cards. That's basically Lone Wolf, Vengeance of the Kai. As far as the pledge levels over here, it's pretty straightforward. We have one pledge level. We have $99 for the Kai Lord pledge full game. This over here is for retailers, so it's just basically one pledge for $99, with shipping being 20, if I recall correctly. 25, no, US $25 to $28 is going to be shipping, so you're looking at around $125 to $130, depending on, well, where you are. But if you're in the US, you're looking at that. So it's pretty straightforward. Past that, the campaign has a bunch of miniature highlights, other things you can look through, but it's a big box miniatures game, asymmetric 2-player game, based on the Lone Wolf series. That's going to be Lone Wolf, Vengeance of the Kai. Then we have Container, Grunts, and Triangulation. 9,324 backers, $766,000 raised, 3 days to go. A Container from All Play, first of all, amazing video. Check out the campaign video, lots of fun. Their videos are always, it's so interesting, because like All Play is like usually they're so, what's the word for it? Clean, professional, whatever you want to say about their campaigns. They have like a format, but then their videos are often so messy in a good way. They feel very homebrewed videos relative to like the standardness of all their campaigns, which I always think is very well done. But Container, Grunts, and Triangulation, the main feature is Container. The ones I'm most interested in are Grunts and Triangulation. So Container is basically a reprint of Container, a game that you can find for $200 to $300 on eBay right now. It's out of print, and you can get this game for as little as $39, or if you want the all-in, $100 for the deluxeification, the expansion, all that stuff. But $39 will be the base price just to get the base game and call it a day, relative to the $200 to $250 you're paying on eBay to get the game. Container is an open game of economy. You set the prices, you decide what things are worth. Players have these kind of secret cards determining the value of things, and then you're playing into that, trying to get other players to either guess or figure out what they need to do as far as those values. It's an open market. It's an open market. You do what you want. Honestly, it feels like a good choice for a company that does like QE, because this is like QE if QE were like an actual economic game as opposed to a game where you make your friends sad by breaking the game. QE, by the way, it's a lot of fun. Whatever. We'll talk about QE another time. Anyways, Container. Container is basically an open economic game where you can do a lot of things. Just you have 2 actions to turn, if I recall correctly, and you're just basically trying to set the market, buy what you need, and try to play out how you think the game is going to end based on the values there. Again, the basic pledge is going to be $39. Where are the basic pledge? We have $137 is a 3-game deluxe bundle over here, but the basic pledge over here, Grunts is going to be $19, Triangulation is $19. We'll come back to those shortly. Container Standard Edition is $39, Container Standard Expansion $58, and then Container Bundle is $77, and then $137.99 for the deluxe plus free expansion, and $137 for basically everything on the campaign, which I assume is the most popular pledge. $27.55, $11.27. I do assume it's the most popular, but we'll see. 27, no, it's not. $27.55 was the most popular. Interesting. Anyways, as far as Triangulation and Grunts over here, where is Grunts? How to play Grunts? Grunts, I've had a chance to play this one already. I really liked it. Now, granted, I played it once. One play is not a review, but I played it one time. I had a chance to play it at the Star Retreat. The Joe from All Play was there. He showed me the game. I thought it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. It was a very tense back and forth. It was great. Really enjoyed Grunts. I'm excited for this one. This is gonna be one of my I shouldn't say. I was about to say one of my favorite all-play games. I played it once. As of right now, I'm excited for it. Let's leave it at that. But Grunts, I thought it was fantastic. A very solid 2-player abstract strategy game with like themes there, but it's an abstract strategy game just with like theme on it. But very well done. Triangulation, I'm very excited for, because Triangulation is a game of writing down 3 clues, but you reveal the first 2 clues, and your opponents have a chance to intercept, and then if not, you get the 3rd clue, which means effectively you're using a 3rd clue to tie things together. Let me walk you through this, because they did a great job walking me through this on the campaign page. The idea is you write the 3 clues, And then first of all, you start off, your opponents get the clues one at a time. So let's say they reveal John. Okay, so then they like, what's John? Maybe Terminator? I don't know. John could be anything. Then they reveal Paul, and you're like, John and Paul, it's the Beatles. It's the Beatles. But no, it's not. Then you reveal Book, and you're like, John, Paul, and Book, it's the Bible. Oh, so basically you need 3 clues that don't operate well on their own, or even with 2 of them, you really want all 3 of them in order to work well together. That's like, it's such a fascinating concept because your opposing team gets 2 of those 3 clues. I love the concept. Like, it's so interesting. I love the idea of tying things together with like a combination. I haven't played this game. But based on what I know about games like Just One, Decrypto, all of that, I am very excited for Triangulation. I think it's so clever. I love these kinds of word games, and we'll see. I might hate. Listen, my enthusiasm for GRUNTZ is based on 1 play. My enthusiasm for Triangulation is based on not playing it at all. And then the main game over here, Container, like, I want to play it. Like, yeah, I do want to play it, but I'm not enthusiastic for it, so take that as you will. But either way, those are the campaigns over here. Shipping over here, shipping's going to run you $4. That's what All Play does. $4. $4 to the USA. Always great when they do that. It's always a pleasure to see a $4 shipping price when you're expecting something much more. Then we have Riftblade, 454 backers, $58,000 raised, 3 days to go. Riftblade over here from Trey Chastain, first created. This is Dice Stone meets Ascension. That's a testimonial that someone else gave, but it's Dice Stone meets Ascension. You're basically buying cards that you can chain together. Cards need to chain together based on the various symbols on the cards, but then you need to utilize dice to activate the cards. In order to activate a card, you need to activate, well, at least one of the powers in order to continue chaining. So you're ultimately trying to utilize your dice. That's why Dice Stone meets Ascension. It's like a little bit of deck building, a little bit of Dice Stone, trying to figure out how to activate your dice to the cards in order to activate a string of cards. They have a term for it, like I don't know, there's a term for like a string of cards, but you're activating your chain. Let's call it a chain. I don't think it's called a chain, but you're going to be doing that. A living card game. There's a bunch of expansions already included. There's a digital implementation, so $49. Where's the pledge levels? Do they have them on the main pledge over here? Living card game, Riftblade, no, I don't know. Reward tiers, here we go. Initiate, $49 for the base game. $59 gives you the digital pack as well. $79 gives you the 2 expansions as well. $109 gives you a bunch of extras over here. Vanguard gives you even more extras, and that's basically Riftblade. It looks interesting, looks cool. I'm intrigued without being completely sold. Shipping's gonna run you 10 to like 18 depending on the pledge level you get. It looks intriguing. I'm intrigued without being sold. Kalypso, 2,195 backers, 4 days to go, $205,000 raised. This is coming to you from Inside Up Games, and this is, oh my gosh, this is a great game. This is, I'm a big fan of Kalypso. Now, Kalypso comes with a solo, cooperative, and competitive mode. The competitive mode, well, cooperative and solo are similar, small rules differences, but the same basic idea. The competitive is basically think Planet Unknown. You're drafting polyomino tiles, except they really only come in one main shape, and then you place them onto your board while trying to build buildings and trying to accomplish your goals. I like the cooperative, I like the competitive mode. It's a good game. I'm not like wowed by it, but it's a good polyomino game. There's lots of good polyomino games out there. But then the solo or cooperative, oh my gosh, that is where the game shines. And I was hoping to do a solo play of this because I didn't see any solo playthroughs. Maybe I missed it. But I was hoping to do a solo play of this before the campaign ends. I will not be able to, but I will try to do a solo playthrough after the campaign ends. So we'll see. I'll try to do one later. We shall see. You know, pledge managers, there's always pledge manager coverage. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, I love the cooperative version of this game, cooperative solo version of this game. I think it's a ton of fun. My biggest complaint, there's things I wanted. You can check out the review. I gave it a 5 out of 5 as far as the co-op goes. I have so much fun with this game, playing cooperatively and solo. Co-op I prefer. It gives you a sense of collaboration that's extra there. But this is a fantastic game. I'm a huge fan of this game. It's I think my 4th 5 out of 5 this year, if I'm not mistaken. I went the whole year until like the last 2 months with having nothing. Oh, because the other one's actually not, technically it's my 3rd 5 out of 5. It's my 3rd 5 out of 5 because the 4th one I filmed but hasn't gone up yet. But even the 4th one barely counts because basically it's a follow-up game. Either way, this one over here, phenomenal game. I'm a huge fan of Kalypso. What are the pledge levels? So, pledge levels. Where are the pledge levels on the sidebar over here? We got why back, add-ons, rule, how to play, what's in the box. What's in the box? Base edition. So the base edition over here is going to run you, I believe, $55. Yeah, $55 for the Kalypso base edition of the game. This is what you'll see at retail. If you're getting this, honestly, get it at retail is usually my recommendation. Not a lot of incentive to get this on crowdfunding. Get it at retail. Get it at retail if you want the base version. If you want the deluxe edition, though, you are paying much more for it. You're paying $118, more than twice the price. Is it worth it? Hard to say, honestly. I mean, for me it is because I love the game. But if you're walking into this one unknown, that's a bigger question, because the deluxe version of the game is giving you a Kalypso foil box with serial number. That means nothing to me. The custom storage by game trays, it's nice to have. Honestly, as much as I like game trays or trays in general, I don't necessarily need them. It's not why I get it. Some games need them. Some games really need them. This is not a game that really needs it. I guess this is This little thing is nice. I guess this is nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's for sure nice. But then you also have the 3D life preservers, the 3D barrels. Those, by the way, will be definitely nice to have. Having played the game, having something a little bit more chunky on the table, that is a nice to have quality of life. Is it worth $50? When you count it all together, we have enlarged boat tokens and net tokens. Again, it's nice to have. It feels better, sure. They're acrylic. That's cool. Like they're chunky. All of it kind of adds up. And then we have Kickstart your settlement cards. Again, that's nice to have. So like, there's a whole lot of nice to have things. Oh, and there's a Kickstarter gift too, by the way. This is like available at either pledge level. So like, if you're not getting it at retail, you can get like, you know, four monuments over here from 14. There's 14 different monuments, but you're going to pick 4 of them that they're going to make into like little 3D things. So each player can have 1 monument that's 3D, I guess. That's, again, nice to have. All in all, I think that if you're a fan of this game like I am, the deluxe version is totally worth it. If you're not a fan of this game, I think you're fine with retail. Like, I don't think you need to go deluxe on this one. It's a great game, but you don't necessarily know if you love it yet. You can always try it down the road. Like, hopefully this game is well received and gets a massive reprint campaign, and you can get the extras then. But yeah, I think if you're coming into this not knowing if you like it, you're doubling your money for a bunch of nice-to-have extras. Shipping is going to run you over here, you know, to $19 or $20 for the deluxe edition of the game, and that is Kalypso from Inside Up. From there we have the Dinosaur Island fully charged. It's the last campaign we have. Yes, the last campaign. Dinosaur Island fully charged. 3,020 backers over here. $292,000 raised. 4 days to go. Dinosaur Island fully charged is what it sounds like. It's Dinosaur Island with the expansion, with the new stuff. The new stuff being some small gameplay adjustments, as well as just premium components and things. Like, they have that aspect where you can, like, magnetic dinosaurs, you can drop them, or you can't drop them, I guess. You can turn upside down and you can't drop them. So there's nice premium aspects to the game. There's nice gameplay changes. They have the gimme the nitty gritty gameplay changes. Dinosaur Island is basically a worker placement. Is it worker placement? More dice draft. It's been a while since I played it. It's been a while. I'm trying to remember if it's worker placement. I don't think so. It's more dice drafting to a degree, and then utilizing those dice to take the various not chemicals, strands of DNA to make various dinosaurs, put them into your park, try not to have things rampage, all as you build up your park with like experts and buildings and all these things that will improve your tableau while you try not to have the world burn down around you. That's the core idea of the game. It's been a while since I played it. I played it a while ago. I played the base game only. I think it's all I played. But either way, this introduces new gameplay changes. If you're a fan of Dinosaur Island, this will make a lot of sense to you. If you don't know Dinosaur Island, this is probably unnecessary, and all you need to know is that this is the newest, coolest version of the game, and you can get it for $150, which, by the way, seems pretty reasonable compared to like what this stuff can cost, and you have the newest version of the game. If this is your first time trying to get into Dinosaur Island, that kind of makes sense. Unfortunately, the various upgrades, there is an upgrade pack over here. It's going to run you $40, and that does not give you all the content. That gives you the gameplay changes. So if you are someone who has Dinosaur Island, you can't get, like, you have to kind of buy it all again, or just get the gameplay changes. There are 1,200 people backing this upgrade kit for $40 that, honestly, from going through the upgrades, didn't seem like it was that significant of gameplay changes, and you're basically paying like $40 plus they say shipping will be like under $15. So you're paying $50 to $55 to get the upgrade, the gameplay changes. Not even an expansion. Like, that feels like it's a full game. It's a full... Listen, if you love Dinosaur Island, this probably makes sense. Although if you really love Dinosaur Island, you probably should just get the $150 for everything new again and sell your copy, because this felt like not the best price point for gameplay changes for $50, which is the price of a full game. It's not even an expansion. Either way, that's just my own like uncertainty as far as whether that's worth it. But Dinosaur Island, whether you are new to it, whether you are coming in as a huge fan, this is the fully charged version of it, where you can get either all the new stuff or a gameplay upgrade kit. And that's basically all we have for the campaigns this week, which means, and I hope to be back next week with more to back and not to back. I just did like the stuff for the next 8 days so you don't miss anything, and we'll be back. We'll be back. I say hopefully. We'll see. We'll still see. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the picks of the week. Picks of the week. As usual, when we do this video series, we pick 2 campaigns. One that I think is the most likely to hold its value, and one that's my personal interest pick of the week. The most likely to hold its value probably goes to Terrorscape over here. Terrorscape, if you look at the secondary market, even the first edition stuff, this is a well-liked game that if you want the all-in, if you want all the extras, people are paying for it over on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, all those various places. So Terrorscape 2, I think, is the most likely overall to hold its value. And if you're looking for my personal interest pick of the week, it should be pretty evident, but Kalypso. Kalypso is an easy pick for my personal interest pick of the week. I love this game. For context, going through the campaign page made me want to play the game again. Like, that's the level of, like, I was like, I want to play it again. So that's why I decided, like, maybe this Sunday, maybe next Sunday, some point soon, I'll try to do like a solo Sunday video of playing through Kalypso solo. We shall see. I just really like the game. And that's basically what we have. As far as upcoming campaigns we have a few. We have Berserk from Monolith launching, well, tomorrow. 30,000 people following the campaign. Berserk from the manga is basically launching. It's a dungeon crawler-ish kind of game. And then we have Honor Zen from IV Studios, 11,000 people following the campaign. This is a cooperative deck building game, solo or cooperative deck builder, as you try to build your deck and take down 3 iterations of enemies, and winning or losing. There's also a narrative aspect to it. There'll be review coverage. There's already a gameplay coverage. You can see that on the channel. We'll have all of that stuff, and those are launching tomorrow. And that's basically everything. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one. You know, people are usually pretty shocked when they find out that I'm not a very good electrician.